What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My nose is already itching from the makeup I put on. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today is Wednesday for me and I am filming some new content for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video from last week all about my New Year's goals and resolutions for 2021. But this week's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to be telling you guys my top 5 shows and some movies to watch on Netflix right now. So some of them came out last year, some of them came out this year. Actually, I don't know if any of them came out this year, but if they didn't, they came out at the end of last year. But stuff that I've watched this year and watched last year that I just think are 10 out of 10, some of the best shows ever. So if you like to watch Netflix and need something to binge, if you're in the UK and you're in lockdown and you need new shows, I know Netflix is different depending on what country you're in, but I'm sure most of these are on there. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my favorite shows and movies on Netflix, I guess. Alright, so I have a little list on my phone that is basically my top 5 shows to watch, and then I have honorable mention for some movies and some other TV shows that I've watched throughout the past year. I know we watched a lot of TV in quarantine. I had a week off after Christmas, so I did watch some new shows then. But let's just go ahead and start. So number 1 on my list, if you know me, you know this, is The Vampire Diaries. I'm sure most of you have watched this, but if you haven't, you need to. It is about 2 brothers who are vampires and they both fall in love essentially with the same girl, and it's just this love triangle love story. It is 8 seasons long. It is by far my favorite show on earth. I've watched it literally 8 or 10 times through. You guys saw last year we went to Mystic Falls, the real Mystic Falls, and went and visited, and it was so fun. So highly recommend that show if you're into drama, suspense, a little scary, not really scary, but like if you're a baby, a little scary like me. But yeah, so that is definitely such a good show to watch, especially if you just like need something that's just gonna make you feel every single emotion. It is for sure that show. So that first one is The Vampire Diaries. I'll be putting all the like little like poster cards that are on Netflix, or just so you can see what the show looks like, right next to me. So yeah, the next one is my current obsession. This one is called Bridgerton. Now, if you do not live under a rock, you know all about Bridgerton, how incredible it is. It is basically, I would explain it as the Gossip Girl of like, I don't think it's the Renaissance era, but it's like the 1800s, I want to say. So it is Bridgerton. It is absolutely incredible. It is a masterpiece of a show. Listen, you will understand I love to watch TV. And I love dramas and I love shows, and this show it's only 8 episodes long. The first season is 8 episodes. It's based off a book series. And it is literally one of the most incredible shows I've ever seen. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even explain it. I've been watching interviews all day long with the cast. Like, it is just a phenomenal show. I would recommend to everybody, but don't watch it with your children. If you have kids, if you are under the age of 17 or 16, I don't know what your parents' rules are, but don't watch it if you're super young, because it's definitely raunchy and there's definitely a lot of like sexual material in there, but it is so good. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less out of Netflix, but it is just, I don't have enough good things to say about it. It's iconic. It is incredible. If you love like old-timey dramas like Call the Midwife, what's another one, Downtown Abbey, like a lot of people said they got the vibe from that, but just in a modern day. If you loved Gossip Girl, you will love this. It's just 10 out of 10 recommend. It is Bridgerton. Please go watch it. It's highly becoming my second favorite show. The next one is called Tiny Pretty Things. Now this was described as a mix between Pretty Little Liars and Black Swan, which you would think like, how the heck would you like do that? Black Swan was very, you know, I feel like Black Swan was very mental. It was also kind of raunchy, kind of sexual, and it kind of played tricks with your mind a little bit, if I remember correctly. I watched it a very long time ago. And Pretty Little Liars is like murder mystery type of high school students like going through all this stuff and like, you know, forbidden relationships and all of that. So this is basically just smushing those two things together. It is a ballet school in Chicago, and it is just following these teens that through this like mystery of their friend falling off a building, and it shows that in the preview, so don't even worry. There's no spoilers here, but It is truthfully a very well made show. Now it's not as like of a masterpiece as Bridgerton, but it is so good. Now again, don't watch it with your kids. If you're very young, don't watch it because again, it's raunchy. There's a lot of sexual material in there. I don't want you to get in trouble with your parents if you're that young and you're watching this. But it's definitely a very, very, very good show. I really enjoyed it. Now some of it is kind of freaky. Excuse me. Some of it is kind of freaky. There's some scenes that they're like dreams and they can tend to be a little like kind of make your skin crawl a little bit. Sometimes it's a little suspenseful, but that's literally Pretty Little Liars, Black Swan, smush it together and make it a TV show, and that is the epitome of what it is. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. I feel like I should rate these. Vampire Diaries is a 10 out of 10. Bridgerton is a 10 out of 10. Tiny Pretty Things like a 9.5 out or a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Okay, the next show, again, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, but it did come out last year. It is called Outer Banks. It is kind of very different from what I've just been talking about. So it is following this group of friends in the Outer Banks. Now, it was not filmed there. There's all that, but in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, just following their like treasure hunt. It's like the Goonies, but modern and older kids. So I would really watch that. It's again 10 episodes long. The Netflix series are usually started out at 8 to 10 episodes a piece, but it is so good. It's enthralling. You know, you fall in love with these characters, like every show I've mentioned, but you fall in love with these characters and it's just like, wow, this is so good. So Outer Banks would recommend. I think they started filming season 2 already, which is awesome. So that should be out later this year, 2021. Or next year. You know, COVID kind of pushed back a lot, but it was huge at the beginning of quarantine in March and April, so I would definitely recommend that to watch. If you're looking for something to watch, it's a good show to watch with your boyfriend because you guys can both kind of get into it. So yeah, would definitely watch that one. Okay, the next show, and this is the last one of my top 5 before my honorable mention. This is called Emily in Paris. It is cringy, it is corny, it is just, to me, it was just a feel-good show. I just really enjoyed watching it. Again, it was a shorter season. I don't remember how many episodes. I want to say 10, but it just follows this woman as she moves to Paris from Chicago, I think, or New York, or some city. She moves across the country she moves across the world and basically has to like acclimate to working in this big Paris company and all of this stuff. So it's the same company she worked for before, but she has to like acclimate with this new boss and like all the things that come along with literally moving halfway across the world. So it's a feel-good show. You're probably gonna be like, wow, it was so corny, blah blah blah. It so is, but I would so recommend going to watch it because honestly, what have you got to lose? It is really good and definitely just a feel-good show. Alright, I just want to mention really quick, I just like took a little break with water and looked at the lighting. If it's garbage, sorry, I'm using my natural lighting from my windows to light these because I didn't want to set up my whole lighting shebang. So if it's a little like funky, apologies, but it's fine. So next up is going to be honorable mention. These are still some of my favorite shows. Oh, Outer Banks is a 10 out of 10 and Emily in Paris is a 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Something like that. So these are honorable mention. Now these are including some movies and some other shows that are just really good. Again, all of this is on Netflix. I literally just looked them all up. So first up, honorable mention is the After movie series. Now these are based off of a fan fiction that was released on Wattpad, goodness knows how long ago, but it was based off of like a One Direction fan fiction and it turned into this huge franchise, and I have the books. I'm halfway through the book. And it is really good. It's again raunchy. I mean, this is telling a lot about the stuff that I like to watch. It's fine, you know, a lot of stuff on Netflix is just not for the young eyes. So again, the After series is very good. The first one is better than the second. There's a third and a fourth that have already been filmed, and then that's it. So I would recommend those. I'd say it's probably like a 9 out of 10. Sometimes I'm just like, why are you doing this? This is silly. But yes, would definitely recommend the After movie series. The next one I have is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I'm sure you know all about this. It was actually a really well-made movie. It has 2 movies. I'm really not sure if there's going to be a third. I I think there is. Noah Centineo is in it. He is adorable, and they just, him and, oh, I don't remember the actress's name that plays the lead. But she's amazing. They just have a really great chemistry, and it's a really, really sweet, like, chick flick, feel-good movie that you can look after, something you can watch by yourself too. But To All the Boys I've Loved Before, you can watch it by yourself, throw some popcorn on, and have a little movie night, and it's just one of those movies that in the end you're like cheering because it's just great. So would definitely recommend that. There's 2 movies in that franchise so far. The next one is the TV series You. It has the guy who's from Gossip Girl. I'm blanking on everyone's names right now. Dan Humphrey from Gossip Girl, he's the lead. Obviously he's not Jane Humphrey, but you know what I'm saying. So You is creepy, it is stalkery, it is scary, it's kind of like horrifying actually at times, because you're like, wow, this could actually happen. But my boyfriend and I binged it the last 2 seasons. I think they both came out right after Christmas, or one came out right after Christmas and one came out shortly after. I don't really remember, but there's 2 seasons, and it is so addictive and so good. It's one of those shows that you just have to watch, and it is like enthralling. It just really keeps you into the show. It's very, like I said, it's very stalker-ish and kind of creepy, but if you're into that kind of stuff, don't be into that kind of stuff. I can't take myself seriously right now. Watch it, it's good. Just take my word for it. The next one is Jane the Virgin. This is a classic. It is, again, a feel-good show. It's based like a telenovela, and it's just great. I really don't have a lot to say. It follows Jane the Virgin, who gets knocked up, but she's a virgin, and so there's all of this, you know, crazy things that happen. I want to say there's 4 or 5 seasons, maybe even 6, but it is genuinely a great show. I was very happy with the ending. Are you Team Raphael or Team Michael? I don't know, but yes, was very happy with the ending of Jane the Virgin, so you should definitely watch that one. The next one is the Kissing Booth series. This has Joey King. She's wonderful. She's a really great actress. She shocks me in the movies that she's in, and she's just amazing, so I would definitely recommend watching it. Again, like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, there's 2 movies, and it is such a feel-good franchise. I'm very into feel-good movies and just movies that are gonna make me happy and not freak me out. So yes, Kissing Booth series is really good. It's high school. It's cheesy, but it's a great love story, so we love that. And then the last one on my honorable mention list is Never Have I Ever. This follows, it's a Netflix series, and it follows an Indian family, I think, and just like, it's a coming of age, like this girl is learning about periods and sex and like all of these things, and it's a really, again, it's one of those feel-good shows that you just love. It really focuses on the relationship between a mother and a daughter, and it's just great. It's just great. So I would definitely recommend. It's called Never Have I Ever. Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching that as well. Alright guys, that is it for my top 5 Netflix shows and movies with honorable mention to watch this year if you're stuck in quarantine, if you're on lockdown, if you are just don't have anything to do. I would definitely recommend watching all of those shows and movies that I mentioned. It'll definitely take up your time, so use wisely, use the information I gave you wisely. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a little switch up of some different content, but this was super fun to film. I love sharing TV shows that I love because I love watching TV. Maybe if I read more books this year, I'll share more books to read, but as of now, I'm working on getting through my first book and I'm like 25 pages in. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed, and again, thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed. We can chat in the comments about your favorite TV shows. Let me know what your favorite TV shows are in the comments down below, and we can chat about it. Are you Team Stefan or Damon? Team Raph or Michael? There's a bunch of little like love triangle teams in a lot of these shows, but yes, so don't forget to, I say this the 5th time, we've got a lot of fun content coming this year, so again, your support means the world. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.